Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to make something like this card. I'm just going to change the sentiment for the most part. And again, I'm using all these Christmas words dies, which I've really come to love. They go with, excuse me, allergy day. They go with every single stamp set that we have in a holiday catalog, in the annual. They can range from birthdays to whatever, so winter. I just really had a good time with them. And this is going to be one of my personal Christmas cards because it is so easy to make. And then I have a tip for you. Just, save your foil paper too. And what else? There's a bunch of news, but it's not coming up until, early December, so I'll hold off on that for a little while. But I do want to keep this short. This is for Stampin' Up! Only Challenge 389, and you can find us over at suochallenges.com. And we have a challenge on Tuesday every other week, so this is this Tuesday's challenge card for them. So I've got the Christmas words, traditions of Christmas, and I brought in deckled rectangles too, and well, I'll show you how I use that. So the first thing I have here is, the inside. And I just grabbed another sentiment and popped it on down. This image here is cut out from the designer series paper. In traditional Christmas, we also have a stamp where you can color it. We have solid stamps that go in the middle of it, so you can get as many of these images as you want. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. So I have a top folding A2. Did I show you the inside yet? Yeah, I did. Secret Seed card base, my ADD's kicking in. And then I took traditional wreath and I ran that through because I wanted to make sure this was in the middle, the circle was. Ran that through, and I am going to go ahead and grab some adhesive and lay that on top. And, I always like using the L corner of my Stamparatus. And I'm just going to pop this down with some seal. And I'm over to your right side doing that just in case I'm not in the frame. I can look real quick, and yeah, I am. Now, when you have embossed cardstock, you want to take your time getting the adhesive on because you want it to be covered all the way around. So let's go ahead and pop this guy right down right about there. And we won't be doing the middle today because I do want to keep this really short. Okay, so this piece of designer series paper, and don't worry, measurements and everything like that will be over on the blog at Cindy B Designs, was cut from... You know what? I don't think I put this in there. This was not cut from Textures or the traditional Christmas. This here, it is in the supply list. But again, measurements, everything like that will be over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. This is cut from Jolly Holiday or Jolly Delivery, that designer series paper. And so I have the fourth deckled rectangles. And then I got my piece of gold foil here, and I am going to get that centered top to bottom, left to right. Get that adhered down. And then I'm going to take it over to the side and run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Because my thinking with that is, this is a pretty sizable piece of cardstock or, gold foil. And why waste it and cover it up with designer series paper when you could get a lot more use out of what you're cutting out in the middle there. And I will show that to you real quick. But I still have like enough room. I have a good border to where I can still lay this on top. That's a pretty sizable piece of gold foil cardstock, and I think you only get 2 in the pack there, so, really careful. With this here, I'm going to grab some tear and tape, and it's going to overhang a little bit. And I'm going to pop this right on there, just to lay that down and try to find where my opening is. If you have any 1-inch tear and tape laying around, go ahead and do that. You can use seal adhesive if you want. I just kind of gravitated towards tear and tape for this. And I want to put it on all 4. But not in the middle though, because it's going to lay right on top of that. And I am using my scissors because I want some really good coverage. Like, you know, especially on the corners. And if you can hear that, another windstorm that we're having. Missouri weather is always so much fun. I mean, it was like freezing yesterday, literally. My little snow thing was lit up on my car. And then it's gonna hit like 70, I think, tomorrow. Okay, so we got that down. And now I want to grab my pokey tool. I'm gonna pop that right on there. And I'm using the mat because these are 1/4 inches. This obviously is not, so it is going to be a little bit sticky, and that way it'll be easier to pick up from the silicone mat as opposed to my wooden desk or the Bishop Black top. So I'm grabbing that adhesive off. I have no idea what we're doing on Friday. Maybe next Tuesday might be the paper pumpkin alternatives, because that should be going out anytime now. Got the tear and tape off, and I want to lay this carefully. And I got a hoodie on, so you might see some strings. I don't have a lot of wiggle room at the top and the bottom. So I just want to get this down, and I did. Okay, I'm good with that. Now you can kind of hear the sticking on there a little bit. So this is where, oh, it's not where I want to do this. I have this little piece of, again, gold foil, and this new banner punch here, online exclusives. And I want to just notch this like right about there. And I'm really hoping, no, I think I have to turn it over to get it the right way. Well, I have another piece just in case. You know what? I think it was the bottom one I wanted to use. It was. And I'm trying to stay out of frame here so you don't get a headshot. It was, but you know what? I'm going to snip that because I'm not going to mess with it again. And we are okay. So I kind of wanted to sneak this in under like right kind of in the middle there. Just like that. And that didn't work. So let's just do another piece of tear and tape and pop it on top. I thought I might have just a little bit of adhesive over there, but I don't. I'm going to lay that like that. And we are going to, again, get that down right about there in the middle. And then pick that up and we're good. Now I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals and pop it on the back. And I'm not going to skimp or anything like that because there's just, you know, kind of a lot going on here. As far as I got that adhesive over on the sides left. And that's why I'm being careful where I'm putting the dimensionals. It will stay up. And since that gold paper is kind of thick, I'm going to put just a few in the center there. And my neighbor's garbage can just came flying into my front lawn. So we are going to get all these off again. Just peeling off the back. Might as well chat a little bit. December 9th, I think that we're going to be having some big paper pumpkin sale. But, you know, again, I'll address that as that gets closer. Oh, the next week thing, no, I don't have to take that off. That's got moved to December, but I'm still not going to be around Thanksgiving week. You know, I'm going to wing that, but doubtful. I want to pop that right there. And I'll keep you, again, posted about the December thing. Okay, so I got that down, and all I did was cut this out of designer series paper. And this is from our Christmas words. Pop some dimensionals on the back. And all I'm doing is like pretty much adhering and cutting everything. No coloring or anything like that, which I kind of want to get back into. But this time of year, I just have more of a tendency to put things together rather than kind of delve into it, even though I'm really starting to miss that a lot because you don't just get so busy. And I have a lot of things going on house-wise too that need my attention, but good things. Okay, so we are just going to pop at an angle there. And then grab some of our glimmer sequins. And I, don't hold on to anything. I haven't been doing that at all this year. And I am going through everything, which I like, which means less left over that I have to get rid of in the long run. But I do have great BOGO sales, as you know. So that is it. That is how simple this card is. Really, really easy to do. Easy to mass produce. So I do thank you for joining me today. Be sure to join us over at Stampin' Up! Only Challenges. There'll be a link to that on my blog, in the description right underneath this video. And I will see you again on Friday. So have a great week.